In this video, I'm cooking gourmet food for the most popular animals on the planet, and the longer you watch, the bigger and more dangerous the animals will get, all starting with this cute little rat. I spent 3 hours cutting and layering vegetables to make the perfect ratatouille, and if you think this meal's fancy, just wait until you see what I cooked for some of the other animals later in this video.
Go ahead, buddy. Enjoy your 5-star meal. Oh, he's eating.
Let's let him finish and go to our next animal. Next up, we're cooking for a squirrel, but not just any squirrel. Twiggy is a world-famous water skiing squirrel, and since my friend Mark is a huge fan of squirrels, I invited him to cook with me.
It's wild, the water skiing squirrel has a tour bus. To be clear though, we're cooking for the squirrel, not cooking squirrel.
I got all the stuff squirrels like. Beans, avocado they love, carrots.
Wow, this is a meal.
Their favorite is acorn squash.
Really? It feels like a sous chef-y thing to do would be to empty that. You think Twiggy's gonna mind I used my hand?
Not if we make it look nice.
So what we've got here is an acorn squash with a bunch of stuff in it. Twiggy, right here. Here's a little ramp. He gets it and then comes for protection. I've peeked.
Mark, are you taking a selfie? Did you
Sorry.
ask first?
No, I just did it. Which animal's next?
Next up is a parrot named Einstein the Talking Parrot for obvious reasons.
Morning.
Now, Einstein, what do you want for lunch?
Pizza.
I know that sounds like a fake robotic voice, but this is Einstein's actual voice, and since his owners told me he also loves corn, we're gonna make him some corn pizza.
What are you doing?
I'm torching the corn.
This will give some really nice flavor to your pizza. Einstein's used to seeing the center of the cob, so I'm gonna cut. Oh, it's fresh basil. I'm gonna cut nice rings from the corn on the cob to put in the center of our pizza. Oh, you're taking one? That's fine. Cutting it this way is sort of like Einstein's version of pepperoni.
Is it good?
Well, it's gonna be good.
For the cheese, we have cheddar and provolone.
Even when I make pizza for myself, I like using different blends of cheese because it makes it a whole lot more exciting. Einstein, you can't get full before the meal.
Be quiet.
The cheddar's been grated, so now I just gotta finish up the provolone.
And then we'll toss it into a bowl so we can start rolling out our dough.
Happy bird.
To assemble the pizza, I'll flour my cutting board and stretch the dough to make a small parrot-sized crust. Then I'll top this with a sauce I made from bell peppers, sweet potatoes, and beet juice. And we'll finish by adding on our blend of 2 cheeses,
Einstein, one more piece of cheese.
as well as our corn pepperonis and a bit of fresh basil.
And now it's ready to bake.
Want to cook it?
Yeah, I'm gonna cook it. Here it is, Einstein. What do you think?
Yeah, cool.
That's exactly right.
Is it good?
I haven't eaten any yet.
For the finishing touch, I'm gonna top it off with some edible blue flowers, and then we just need to cut it.
Whoa, he just tried to pick up my knife.
I gotta be careful what I say around you.
It's time to eat. Come on. There you go. Oh, yum. How is it?
It looks like you like the crust better than the pizza.
Most people aren't like that. You know what I like about the way that Einstein eats is that he goes kind of back and forth between the crust and the actual pizza. Why don't you take the rest of this to go?
Bye-bye.
We're moving on to cook for these cute little monkeys called capuchins, and they have the same digestive systems as us humans, which means I can make them a burger the exact same way that I'd make myself a burger. I'm gonna start by toasting off my buns while we come over here to prep our patties. I'll season these up with my Osmo Signature Steak Seasoning. They're the best seasonings in the world, and if you won't take my word for it, just wait until you see how much the monkeys love it. Aside from the steak seasoning, we also have ones that are perfect for chicken, seafood, vegetables, and even a plain old salt. And you can find all of them on our website or at your local Walmart. So if you haven't tried them yet, make sure to go get some Osmo once you finish watching the video. By now, my bun should be nice and toasty, so I'll take these off the heat. And now into my pan with a bit of oil. And once that gets nice and hot, I will lay it down away from me. And I'll press it down since burgers always get so much smaller when they cook. I'll go for the flip. And then immediately add down that cheese and lid on. Once that cheese is nice and melted, we'll plate by going bottom bun, patty, a little bit of ketchup, a little mustard, 3 pickles, lettuce, tomato, and our top bun. Since there are 4 monkeys, I'm gonna cut this into 4 even pieces. We definitely don't want them fighting over the burger.
I'm gonna put on my hat so they don't pull my hair.
And then, let's bring in the monkeys.
They're so cute.
They're kind of just investigating the burger right now. They're being very curious.
Hi. Hey. Oh, you want to eat it on me? That's fine. Yeah. Is the meat good? I just learned that at some restaurants, they won't eat the patties at all. They'll just throw them.
And they're not throwing these, which must mean they love my seasoning on there.
What are they doing to the camera? Don't pull off the microphone, guys. We need the microphone.
He's rubbing mustard all over my camera.
I think I need a new lens. You like the tomato? Want some bun? Yeah, here, have the bun. Want some of the beef? Yeah, there you go. Everybody seems to like something completely different in this situation. This is how I like to eat, kind of like tapas style. And what's great is that a burger has so many different components, so I'm happy that you guys are all enjoying different parts of it. He loves the patties. Well, he dropped it. I have 3 younger brothers, and I feel like this is what we probably looked and sounded like when we were little kids eating. I think it's safe to say they liked it.
Let's go to the next segment. Our next animal is a dog, specifically my dog Pepper. I'm gonna cook her a simple dish that includes this beautiful filet mignon, as well as a side of sweet potato and green beans. beans. I'm going to begin by cutting the filet into small cubes since dogs are technically only supposed to have steak if it's well done. And I know, Pepper doesn't look like a well done type of girl. She probably doesn't even know what that means. But we need to be safe for Pepper. With our steak prep done, we can move on to our green beans. For these, I have this vision of them being all the exact same length, just like in a fancy restaurant. All I'm gonna do for this is lay out the nice long beans on my cutting board, then chop off the edges, and we've got perfectly even green beans. For the sweet potato, I'll start by peeling the entire thing to make it nice and smooth and luxurious for Pepper. And once our potato is nice and clean shaven, I'll cut out a few even and thin slices and then shave it down to make it look something like this. To cook, I'm gonna start by making the vegetables. I'll add the sweet potatoes as well as the green beans, and then cover them with a light amount of water because these are gonna butter poach. Now for the steak, I'll add some Osmo olive oil, and then in we go. The reason I cut it into cubes is so that everything is going to easily cook to well done. Pepper, you wanna test one? Oh, you didn't even chew it. Once that steak is done, I'll toss it onto a paper towel lined plate so it can drain off some of that excess oil. And by now, our vegetables should be done as well. This whole time, I've been heating up Pepper's plate in the oven, just like they do at a fancy restaurant. And to plate, I'll toss down the sweet potato, these delicious green beans, and of course, our steak. Bon appetit. Go ahead, Pepper. There she goes. I wondered what she would go for first, and it seems like she's very much going for just the steak. Eat the veggies. What? Seriously? I just butter poached green beans and sweet potatoes for you, and you're not even gonna try them? Our last animal from level 1 is the porcupine, and they love vegetables, but only if they're uncooked, so I'm gonna make them some veggie french fries. These porcupines eat pretty much the same thing every day, so mixing up the form and the texture of the food that they get is hopefully gonna be really exciting for them. Being completely honest, I'm a little scared for this one. I don't wanna get quilled, so my thought is if I cook them really good food, they won't quill me. Personally, knowing what they can and can't eat, I wouldn't wanna be a porcupine. I feel like I'd get kind of bored only having carrots and beets and vegetables every day, but I think they're gonna love the french fries. I've got my sweet potatoes and carrots, so the last thing I'll make fries with are these things called long beans. They're already basically in french fry form, so all I have to do with these is cut them into french fry length strips. And because this wasn't a very advanced recipe, plating is extra important. So I'll put the sweet potatoes down on one side, then I'll put the long beans in the middle, and I'll finish with my beautiful carrot fries. I wish I could oven bake these to get them nice and crispy, but this will have to do. I think the porcupines can sense that there's food on the way. I wanna get quilled. Guys, I have good food. Those quills are way longer than I thought they were.
Yes, it's the same thing that it's made of from your nails.
And it's so sharp. If they don't like the french fries, is there any chance they get mad?
If they get mad, they would open up their quills and then they'll run backwards towards you and they will stab you with the quills.
I guess we're going in. Guys, I brought food. French fries. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hi, buddy. Look at this. They're running to their house for protection while they eat and then coming back out for seconds. This is a good sign.
Well, they all seem happy. They love your food. No one's trying to quill you.
Wait, everybody wants seconds. I can only give you so much. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, a lemur. Does the lemur want some? Go ahead. Oh, whoa. This is my peak moment as a chef, just having a full crew of different animals enjoying my food. This is awkward because I have 3 left and I have 4 very hungry porcupines. I'm just gonna throw it and whoever gets it, gets it. Moving on to level 2, we'll start by cooking for a penguin. Actually, 3 penguins. What can I say? They're my favorite animal. And since penguins love fish, I thought, why not make them a poke bowl? We'll start by prepping some fresh vegetables. First, this cucumber, which I'm gonna cut into nice thin slices. Then this beautiful mango. Honestly, I'm not really sure if penguins like mango, but we're gonna find out in about 30 seconds. Some purple cabbage. I thought this would give a lot of great color. And last but not least, I thought I'd do an avocado, which I'll cut into nice thin slices like this and then fan it all out. Let's plate it quick since I know the penguins are hungry. I'll layer in all of our fresh ingredients to make it look as beautiful as I possibly can for our penguins. And I'll finish off with my nice stinky fish. This part might not look as gourmet, but trust me, the penguins are gonna love it. And now, the moment I've been waiting for my entire life. Bring out the penguins! No way. That might be the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Here come the other 2. Come on, guys. Your gourmet food is ready. Oh, they bumped into each other. Do you like fish? Hey, what's up? Oh, wow, he just swallowed it. This is awesome. What's the magic word? I forgot he can't talk. He's a penguin. You want some of the actual poke bowl? I feel like I just put in all this effort and he just didn't really appreciate it. Where are you going? I have more fish. Come on, guys. Oh, they're so fast. Come over here. They are just spilling my whole poke bowl. They do not want the poke bowl. They just want fish. Is anyone gonna try the poke bowl? If you guys won't try my poke bowl, can we at least do a slip and slide together? Next up, I'm cooking for a sloth, the slowest animal on the planet, and I'll be making some sloth-friendly spaghetti and meatballs. In front of me, I have some pre-steamed spaghetti squash, and the cool thing about spaghetti squash is that if you run a fork through it, it literally turns into spaghetti right in front of your eyes. These sloths get to eat squash all the time, but they don't normally get it in a fancy way like this. So I'm just hoping that they're as excited as I am. When I was a kid, my mom actually used to make spaghetti squash and then try to trick us into thinking it was pasta. And I have pretty good taste buds, so I never fell for it, but it looks pretty convincing. I'm gonna plate it just like I would any normal pasta. Twirled up and stacked high and tight in the center of my plate. And then for a quick sauce, I'll add a few tomatoes to a blender, then cover these up about halfway with water and blend. After a few seconds of blending, I'll pour the sauce right over the top of my spaghetti, and then with this cooked and peeled sweet potato, I'm gonna make a few meatballs. 1, 2, and 3. These right here are called two-toed sloths. As you can see, they're moving quite slow. Question is, are they gonna like my acorn squash spaghetti? Want a meatball? Oh, yummy. What's he doing? Hey buddy, you gonna eat the meatball or are you just waiting? Is he gonna keep eating it or is he just gonna wait and decide if he likes it? He hasn't done anything with it for like 15, 20 seconds. Wow, they really are slow. Maybe 40 seconds now. He hasn't even moved his mouth, but he's holding the meatball, leaving me in suspense, I guess. I've never been more confused with someone eating my food. You want tomato with the little spaghetti instead? Here, yeah, spit that out.
We can try to clear it up.
Yeah, sure. Want a little tomato with some spaghetti? Yeah, there you go. I didn't know why you didn't just tell me sooner that you didn't like my meatballs. You could have just been eating the spaghetti the entire time. She is the messiest eater I've ever met. Oh, there you go. That's good. This is actually going really well now. Want a little bit more? Yum. She actually ate a pretty good amount of the pasta. No more. The animals are gonna start to get a lot bigger now, with the next one being the giant tortoise. Tortoises love vegetables, so I'll start by picking some fresh fruits and vegetables from this nearby garden, which I'm then gonna use to make some gourmet lettuce wraps. I'm actually in Malaysia right now, which means I have access to tons of very fresh fruits and veggies, just like this papaya here. With this, I'm gonna cut it into nice thin strips so I can toss them in my lettuce wraps. I'm also gonna use these red bell peppers. I love a good bell pepper. Then some fresh mango, this pumpkin. It's gonna be the crunchiest part of our lettuce wraps, which means I think it'll add some really nice texture. And last but not least, we're gonna do a few carrots. Now I said these were gonna be gourmet lettuce wraps, which means I'm also gonna add a little twist. If I very finely mince up corn and then some of this star fruit, as well as some fresh apple, it's gonna make sort of a sweet fruit salsa that I can add to each layer of lettuce, which I think will bring these lettuce wraps to a whole new level. To make the lettuce wraps, I'll be using what's called a mustard green. I'll spread down a bit of that salsa and then a few red peppers, a bit of that sweet fresh mango, 1 carrot stick, papaya, and some pumpkin. We wanna wrap this up nice and tight like a burrito, and to make sure it all holds together, I'll tie it up with the stem from our mustard leaf. How could you not want that if you're a tortoise? Whoa, look at that big guy right there. You want a lettuce wrap? Uh-oh, oh. Oh, they're not just slow walkers, they're slow eaters. Oh, baby, that was a big bite. Whoa, that's a huge tongue. It looks like he's trying to lick the plate clean, which is a really great sign. Oh, no, not the plate. I would call that a success. Next up, I'm cooking for a gorilla. I'm excited and nervous for this one at the same time. But since humans and gorillas share so much DNA, I have to put on gloves so I don't get any of them sick. I also have to put on this mask. Gotta be extra safe. I'm not actually gonna be cooking for the gorillas. Instead, I've got corn on the cob. And as you can see, I left the husks on. Why? Well, I recently saw this really cool video online of a gorilla eating corn on the cob, and it was peeling off the husks in the exact same way a human would do it. So I wanted to see it for myself. As you can see, there's a huge moat between us right now for safety, and I was told not to make any eye contact with the gorilla or he might see me as a threat and try to fight me. And yes, I know I'd probably win, but we don't want to risk it. There he is. Oh my gosh, he's scary. Corn on the cob? Oops. I'm gonna try to throw another to see if I can get it closer. Here you go, buddy. Oh, he looks really mad that I just messed up those throws, doesn't he? I think he's actually really upset at me right now. I feel like I really let him down. I'm trying, I'm doing my best. It's so amazing to watch him eat these. He's so good at peeling it. I used to do this for my grandma all the time. She'd make me remove the corn on the cob husks for her before she cooked. Wow. He's just eating it the long way. I can't believe this. He's sitting just like a human. This is how I eat corn on the cob. I know I didn't really cook anything for this gorilla, but I think he's really enjoying his corn on the cob. And funny enough, I also prefer my corn on the cob uncooked, so me and this gorilla seem to have something in common. Before we move to the next animal, I need to do one perfect toss to the gorilla. This is a big moment right here. I feel like he's getting mad again that I'm taking too long. Okay, I'm gonna throw this. Ready? Oh, nice catch. Moving on to level 3, we're cooking for a bear. And the coolest thing about this bear is that he and I have the exact same favorite food, rotisserie chicken. I'm gonna keep this chicken nice and simple, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes you gotta just let the seasoning do all the work, especially when there's a hungry bear involved. I'll start by coating the entire bird in some nice olive oil, and then I'll give the whole bird a nice massage, making sure to cover every nook and cranny with that oil. And once he's all oiled up, I'm gonna use some of my Osmo chicken seasoning. Look at me on there, look how happy I am. That's gonna be the bear in a few seconds. I hope the bear will appreciate the effort that I'm putting into making this
chicken delicious right now, but at the same time, like I said, I'm gonna let the seasoning do basically all the work here. I didn't wanna make just any boring chicken, so I actually bought an entire rotisserie oven because I wanna make sure our bear has a good time. Now with a little movie magic, our rotisserie chicken is done. I wasn't gonna make you guys wait. Oh my gosh, he is huge. Look at him. This is Tag. He's an 1,000-pound Kodiak bear, and as you know, I've made him a rotisserie chicken, but first I'm gonna feed him this cookie right out of my mouth. Oh, I just kissed the bear. Here's your chicken. Wow, he's eating the chicken, just bone and everything. You hear the crunches? I've never seen someone eat a rotisserie chicken like this. Tag, do you like the skin? The skin's always my favorite part on a rotisserie chicken. I think he's just gonna eat the entire carcass of the chicken. Oh my gosh. Believe it or not, chicken is the only meat that Tag likes. He doesn't eat steak, he doesn't eat fish, but he loves chicken. And I think I made him a good one. What is he doing? Oh, uh-oh, what's going on? Oh, that plate's gone. Oh, he's licking the table now. I want to ask Tag one last question before I go to the next animal. Did you love my Osmo chicken seasoning? Be honest. Yeah, that's right. You're the coolest bear ever. As if a bear wasn't big enough, we're cooking next for a hippo, and I'll be making a fancy fruit salad. I'm sure some of you have seen these videos online of hippos crunching down on things like pumpkins or watermelons, and they're some of the most satisfying videos I've ever seen. So I'm gonna make this fruit salad inside a watermelon basket. What I'm doing at the start here is making the handle for the basket, and the goal now is to basically carve out and remove all this watermelon so we have something that can hold this fruit salad. I'm now going to basically trace the part that I want to take out, and then we'll just empty the whole thing out. I'm gonna purposely leave some of the watermelon inside the bottom here, just so there's a bit of extra crunch for our hippo. Now with this large chunk that I carved out, I'm gonna scoop a few nice pieces of watermelon, then I'm also gonna carve up some honeydew melon, same thing into nice big chunks. Grab some lettuce, a few apple slices, some carrots. I've even got a couple of nice fresh beets, a few slices of banana, a little bit of sweet potato in there. Voila, a fancy fruit salad fit for a hippo. Here she comes. She may look nice, but don't let that cute face fool you. Hippos are one of the most dangerous animals on the planet, although in just a few moments, things are about to get a lot more dangerous than this. We only have one shot at this, so I'm gonna hand this off to the pros. Ready? Here we go. Oh my gosh. No. I think the watermelon must have been a little too slippery and it flew right out of her mouth. I can't believe that just happened. I'm gonna make another watermelon. Attempt number 2. Oh, that was the craziest crunch sound I've ever heard. She should start an ASMR channel. I think she really likes it. If you listen carefully, she's doing this sort of slurping sound. She's literally slurping up the extra watermelon juice from the ground. Another piece? There you go. That was really fun. Is that her breath?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Our last animal before moving to level 4 is the giraffe. And since they love kale, I'm gonna make these giraffes a gourmet kale salad. One tricky part about making this is that normally when you make a kale salad, you wanna basically give the kale a huge salt bath to get it nice and tender. But since we can't add any extra salt for the giraffe, I'm just gonna give it a little massage with water and hope that does the trick. In addition to breaking it down, this is also gonna hydrate the kale, hopefully giving the giraffes a more tender bite. I'm also gonna chop up the zucchini into the bowl with these, and then same thing with my cucumber. Our last vegetable will be this green pepper, and with these I'm actually just gonna give a rough chop, and once this is in our bowl, I'll mix this up just a little bit more, and then time for the dressing. I'm gonna make a simple carrot and tomato dressing. First with some soft cooked carrots, and then a tomato that's been lightly cooked as well. To finish this off, I'll cover it with water and blend. To plate the salad, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'll add in my kale and different vegetables, then go over it with my carrot dressing, maybe a few more veggies on top just to make it look nicer, and lastly, a few hibiscus leaves for a nice pop of color. Have some salad. Yum. This is crazy. Look how long the tongue is. The tongue on the giraffe is dark blue like that so they don't get sunburned while they're out eating all day. I will be honest here, the giraffes don't love my salad. They like regular romaine lettuce. I think it might be the dressing. Oh, you want my salad? A little bit. Oh, he just spit it right out. That was so rude. I'm gonna try to hide some of my salad in one of the big lettuce leaves here. Hey, seriously? Wow, you guys are tough food critics. They're leaving. I think they're full. At least they ate something. Moving up to level 4, we'll cook now for a rhino, which I've always loved since they look exactly like modern day dinosaurs. Also, this rhino happens to be at Disney's Animal Kingdom, which means I have a great excuse to go do some rides after. Rhinos are basically lawnmowers. They don't eat anything too exciting. It's mostly things like hay and grass, so we're gonna have to get creative here. And that's why I've got a few different types of hay. This one here is called alfalfa hay. It's extremely sweet, and to the rhino, it's almost sort of like eating a chocolate cake. cake. This other one here is called Timothy hay. This one's gonna be a bit more on the lighter side and give both some sweet and savory flavors to the dish.
I've also got some dried beet pulp for texture. And if the hay is our salad, you can think of these as the croutons.
It's filled with corn, molasses, and a few other things. To build the dish, I'm gonna go down with one layer of hay, and then what I'll do is grab some of the other hay and start to layer these two between each other. Really all I'm doing here is just building layers of flavor.
And then I'll start to mix in some of these croutons.
Last but not least, I'll go over with a nice even sprinkle of that beet pulp, and the dish is complete. Are the rhinos used to people plating their food like this?
Not something that we do on a regular basis.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh baby, that is a big rhino.
I cannot believe this rhino can run at 35 miles per hour. How is that even possible?
All right, let's see how quickly she finds the food.
My guess here, based on how fast she's eating this, is it's gonna take about a minute and a half.
And now part of me is wishing I made her more food, but she seems like she's happy. I can actually hear all the little crunches coming from those pellets. I'm hoping she's enjoying that texture that we added in there for her.
I'm gonna feed her just a little bit more.
Yum. She's letting me pet her a little bit now, which I hope is a sign that she liked the food. She feels exactly like a hairy basketball. Most people, when I feed them, don't let me pet them.
Getting even bigger now, we're off to cook for an elephant in the jungle of Thailand.
In front of me are some very fresh fruits and vegetables. We also have some beautiful rice, as well as this nice outdoor cook station where we're gonna make them some rice balls.
We'll start by prepping the rice. This will cook in the background while I'm cutting my veggies. And while that cooks, I'm gonna begin by chopping up a few carrots. We're gonna wanna chop these up into nice rings. And all of this is gonna be boiled because I'm at what's called an elephant sanctuary. All the elephants here have been rescued and don't have great teeth, so their food needs to be nice and soft. Once my carrots are chopped, I'll move on to my pumpkin. The first step here will be to remove the core. Once they're hollowed out, I'm gonna slice them into nice wedges. To get some sweetness, I'm also gonna use a few bananas.
Wait, is this a double banana? I've never seen a double banana my whole life.
But I can't get distracted. The elephants are hungry.
Once all our veggies are prepped, I'm gonna steam them.
And once everything's ready, I'll dump in my rice, along with my steamed pumpkin, some steamed carrots, and my peeled bananas. And now we mash it all up. The goal being to get it into a nice smooth mixture to make our rice balls.
It smells so good.
Once the mixture is nice and even, the final step is simple. Shape it into nice big balls and then set it aside. I got the boots, I got the balls, let's go feed an elephant.
Look at the scale of how small I am next to this beautiful elephant.
For reference, this elephant here weighs over 15,000 times the size of the rat you saw earlier in this video.
Hi, buddy. Here you go. Here you go, buddy. He doesn't even chew. He just swallows it. What I am so shocked by is how quickly they eat it. Swallows in one gulp and reaches out for more every time.
He loves these. He's already eaten 2.
And these elephants will eat for 16 hours every single day. That's how much food they need.
Only a few more left. Take your time with these ones. There's no rush. I'm not going anywhere until you're finished, I promise.
Last rice ball, eat this one slowly, please. Slowly, slowly. Chew it, enjoy the flavors. I took a lot of time to make this. You didn't listen, you swallowed it whole.
Bye. Oh, he waved. For our final stop, I flew all the way to Iceland in search of the biggest animal on the planet, the blue whale. For scale, if we combine the weight of every single animal we've already fed in this video, it would still only make up about 7% of the weight of one of these whales. But even though I bought the most expensive plankton in the world and tossed it out to sea, we never found a whale. So after 3 hours of searching, I decided to go cook for a lion instead. I think we can all agree it's a lot cooler than a whale. For our lion, we're gonna be cooking this beautiful Australian Wagyu tomahawk. I had my meat dealer cut it thicker than you normally get with this kind of steak. And we're gonna cook it over charcoal. To begin, I'll fill my chimney with some charcoal, and then we'll light it up.
This lion is lucky. Not only does he have an incredibly well-marbled piece of meat, but it's also gonna be seasoned with the best seasoning in the world, my Osmo signature steak rub. And I'm gonna make sure to